I hope everyone's having a nice day. I'm going to continue the adventures of Keith, the dickhead wizard. See how things go today. Died quite a lot last time, so hoping for less of that, really. Would be nice, but we'll see. We've got our first fight. Off. Young wolf. Let's just go for a straight attack, shall we? Oh, there's two.
Take word and run!
Nice. Nice. Getting good at this game. You see. I take everything because it's an RPG. Oh, this doesn't look pleasant, does it?
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Vale. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here.
Recent vacancies, you don't say. I feel at home already.
Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has taken great pains to insulate our town from Widewind's legacy. Have you ever sired a Hollowborn child?
Mind your own damn business.
The being of this village is my business. You'd best get used to the idea if you intend to live among us.
I don't think you like that,
I should warn you, stranger. Here in Gilded Vale, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans, and those who would hide a curse in our midst.
He steps aside, inclines his head ever so slightly towards the deformed tree. Yeah, I can see
His
that's what you
lordship's
do.
wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement. It will have to wait until after the birth. We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radric's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn just southwest of here.
That tree over there. Hagrid doesn't even look over his shoulder. Ah, yes, not everyone has accepted the measures necessary to keep the village safe ever since Lord Radric. Nice. Before I go, I saw several people conducting a strange ceremony. You'll want to mind where you mentioned that, trespassing and afterwards. Alright, I don't think so. They're just finished. This was Brazier. Keep suspect. If you've been that close to it, you wouldn't be standing. Just something about the Hollowborn and Waden's legacy before he blinks. I forget that foreigners don't have this curse in their homelands. The Hollowborn have been a scourge upon Drywood for almost 15 years. I see. I guess this is the one to finish the quest.
Whatever your problem, it sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Vale isn't in any condition to speak. Consider yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radric, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none at all.
Correct.
But if you're set on finding a bottle
Alright,
of troll
goodbye.
piss, keep out of...
Oh. Something more is happening.
Listen!
A lot of story going on here.
2 tolls. Let that be the last. 3. Gods have mercy.
I don't know what any of this means.
It seems your arrival is ill-timed.
Let's see where this continues to.
3 bells toll only for the death of a Radric. I fear Lord Radric's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully. Circumstances have changed a great deal.
Oh dear, so we just set all of those rules. And, changed them all. Good. Right. Does this affect the laws of the new settlers? I can be sure of nothing right now. I advise you to get some rest in the inn or a stable for all I care. Find me afterwards. I will know more soon enough. Okay. Don't threaten me, little man. It's not a threat, only a warning. Goodbye. You guys want to speak to me? You see 4 people gathered in the door of the inn. They raise their voices and clashes towards an argument is reaching its climax.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
Ooh, a fight. Man glares at his hooded elf. His eyes are red from drink. His is focused. Lot of ghoul are mocking us in our own village. We don't take ill treatment from foreigners.
Go on. Say
Racist.
it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
Why, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cocksfeather!
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
That's where you're wrong.
Oh dear. I'm gonna take that from him, are ya? Yeah, that's what Keith would say. No, we're not gonna take it from you either, or that's because you're about to die, so... Here we go. Combat number 2 of the day. Unpause it. Oh, no, I'm in fast mode.
Your mother.
These guys were weak. Very weak.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation.
You mean for slaughtering them? You're welcome.
Well, that is one way of putting it.
Yeah, this guy's gonna be my friend.
Well, I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvusser, at your service.
I have more to say for yourself than that. Please, I didn't mean to drag you into this.
I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I am grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land.
Nice.
And how exactly did you come to be here?
Yeah, I was traveling with a caravan, but we separated
Griffin
near some
ruins.
other ruins.
Oh, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. In half the locals would arrest you for trespassing, and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there?
Exactly. Tell you exactly what I found.
You do manage to find yourself in rather interesting predicaments.
I should
As
get
should
going.
I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
Yes, alright, I'll take you with me.
Excellent. I shall follow
Follow
you.
you. Getting comfy there, Deb. Hey. She was restless and fevered, assaulted by hisses and whispers. Blanketed with a suffocating anxiety, you open your eyes to awaken and find yourself in front of the Gilded Vale's gallows tree. As ropes grows louder in your mind, the sound is deafening. Hanging from the tree is an old dwarf woman whose face is shriveled inward like a molding fruit. Her head hangs limply one side. Look at her, she looms larger and larger in your mind until she is mere inches from your face. Suddenly, her head snaps up and her eyes open. They're empty, and behind them is a vast nothingness that makes your stomach drop. Her mouth slowly parts, and with a gust of rancid air, she speaks a word. Watcher. You jolt awake, and the foul smell of the dwarf woman's breath still permeating your nostrils. Sweat runs down your face, thick drops, and your skin is soaked from head to toe. You remember the woman, you remember seeing her decaying face. You spoke with the magistrate, called her an animancer. Though it fills you with new, queasy apprehension, you feel a strange compulsion to see this woman once more, only to confirm she is truly dead. This person is definitely going to have something to say.
I have received confirmation that Lord Radric's heir was not born well. My lord has issued an injunction on all new homesteads until he can be assured that the village has been cleansed of all Eothasians and whatever other undesirables that have brought this curse upon his lands.
Oof.
It would be best if you left town as soon as possible. I would suggest returning to your old
This is
home. There will be no place
outrageous.
in the
You have no problem continuing on. Alright, see you then, mate. Let's go speak to this dwarven hanging woman. Squat-distant body of an elderly dwarf woman dangles from the thin, crooked branch that sags in a tug of her noose. Bloated purple flesh on her neck's worn and patched like moth-eaten linen bulges over a rope suspended her. Her lifeless head lolls forward rigidly one side. Reach out! Reach out and touch face! That's what we want to do. Take a deep breath, clearing your mind, focusing on your object. If you exhale, you feel yourself spreading towards the all that lies between you and her with new, unfamiliar awareness. Once you have expanded enough to reach her, there is a sudden jolt to your mind, a ringing electric surge, images and words and sounds. Involuntary, you shut your eyes and you feel yourself being pulled down to some deeper consciousness in the space occupied only by you, the hanging woman. When you open them again, she is staring at you with eyes clouded in a milky fog, her body still swaying in the wind. You no longer feel from a tree that stands planted in the misty void. The woman gives you a slow nod of her head, a rope cracking as she does, and she smiles at you. Have you
come here for me, dear, or have you gotten lost? Ah, it is both, I think. Yes?
I need to understand something that's happened to me. Nods, a look of pity on her face, though consoling a child.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there.
Yes.
You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
What's a watcher?
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I, though. Not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair, and here we are visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times. Souls pass on, some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on. And those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either leaving or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how. A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them. Know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their owner can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well. A wonder.
Do you know why it'd be? Yes,
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing.
Yes. Yes, why are you being so needy, eh?
Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Called them. Those days are all behind me now.
You said souls break apart over time.
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die and pick up pieces of others when we are born again, but less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success.
Continue.
A very small few resist Rimergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
I want to know something about you.
Me? I'll bore you to tears, though.
What is an animancer?
A student of the soul. Something so basic, yet so poorly understood. But so many breakthroughs have been made in my lifetime. Had been made. Had been. To hear the locals tell it, we're a gang of soul manglers that preys upon the weak-minded. And the worst of us are. But the best of us? The best? Inspirations, miracle workers. My parents were soul twins, miserable before they met, empty inside. It was an animancer who helped one find the other, turn their lives around. You wouldn't believe the stories. Amnesiacs helped to remember their lives. The suicidal brought back from the brink of oblivion. The elderly afforded extra moments to say their goodbyes. How soon we forget when we're afraid. It's a fascinating science. A fascinating time to be alive in a place like Deerwood that does not control the research, no? I love the Valian Republics for many things, but their recent caution will leave them behind, I fear.
I see. What happened? He laughs, a rasping, choked cackle escapes between rows of buttery yellow teeth, causing her body to bob up and down with each spasm. Seeing your blank expression, she catches herself.
Oh, come now. Such a question. As though the answer were plain as a rope tied for strangling. Allow an old dwarf her last bit of cheer.
Good.
Well, I came where I was needed, didn't I? Offered my services to Lord Radric for a pittance. A humble pittance. I was to examine the Lord's wife, see why the gods have seen fit to poison her womb. Studied her for months, looked high and low for impurities, tested her valence, the permeability of her essence. Do you know what I found?
Tell me more.
Nothing at all. A healthy woman, head to toe, blessed with a beautiful soul. Such a sweet woman, too. Meek, but warm-hearted. A few months' time, and the lord of the house demanded answers. For a time, I told him what he wanted to hear, Oh, yes, my lord. She is riddled with imbalances. I must have time to cure her. As the birth drew near, he grew impatient, as lords do. And this is where I've ended up.
Good.
Of course, dear.
Am I imagining this?
No, I think not. A pity that. It would be simpler. A mercy, even. To not have to wander anymore, no? Alas, we are here, you and I. Wherever here may be.
Sting, how are you able to speak to me? I think it's been made quite
Is
clear.
that what we're doing? Perhaps it just seems that way. Perhaps it is the easiest way for your mind to make sense of it. I think it is a very good choice.
Okay. You mean when all goes well?
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties.
Smiles reassuring you. Okay.
You should see old Merwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kadnua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
Okay. Very well.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Chief was granted Crucible of the Soul. She seemed just lost for now. I'm a watcher, mate. I suppose it's something to do with the hooded figures and ruins. You know anything about watchers? I know they're rare and seem to have unique insights into certain soul connections, as you just demonstrated. Lovely.
17 and a half.
Ooh, got more. More to gain in there. Set of scraps which you grow fat on our crops. Shouting emerged from inside the mill. Fists of drunkards come through the doors. They shout between their eyes, "Good, hear me. Come away now, lads. We'll be back." Let's go into the mill, shall we? Man stands before you, relatively stocky build, just in a life of labour. His face is pale and drawn as a younger man, and exchange worried glances. Get back. Don't like being friend. Who is this person you speak of? The dwarf, the one standing out there, spreading lies amongst the villagers. Bast has been there for decades. Hasn't got any kinder with time. What was all that ruckus outside? Ooh, I gained some experience. Lovely. Where to begin? Whip them up into froth. On about the grain stores. Claims I've hidden away most of it. All I do with the grain is sell it. Can't create it out of thin air. I can't hand it out for free. I pay the farmers for the crops, they bring it in, and I sell it when it comes out of the mill. Most of it goes into the Black Hound, west side of town, for ale. He has a lot of it in that time. You take a look at the fields on your way into town across Blighted, and most of what I'm getting from the farmers. Pay top prices for blighted wheat, and I've barely got enough good grain to go around. Pretty clean story for a mess. I had other questions. Alright, I'll be going, mate. I'll be going. I bought drinks. You're a drunken menace, I'm pretty alright, that's right. Got my attention. What is it you got to say is worth a round of drinks? You're a drunken menace and I'm putting you down. Go on, Keith, get him! Right. Should probably have planned that a little bit better.
Aye?
But in we go. Let's go. Hey! They're dead. Right.
Hail, traveler.
He's dead. Dead, but no, I won't risk. I suppose I shouldn't take. This is good news, but when a man threatens my family, yes, give me some money. Yeah. We've got a little wolfy boy. Also, attack. Of course, it comes closer, and once we know where it's going to land.
Ready when you are.
You cantrip.
How may I help?
Also cantrip.
Yeah?
Is he dead? Knocked out. Not dead, no.
Just giving them a fair shot. Thank Worth and Rock!
Lived, ma'am. Oh, who's this? Which gave me a good fright. I thought I heard something rustling over there in the bush. Was you silly? Maybe you need some supplies. Better safe than sorry. I could do with some supplies actually, mate. Oh, wolfy boys. Let's attack.
Thank Worth and Rock!
Shot.
There we
Slippery.
go. Lovely.
Devil.
Oh, it didn't last very long.
Death to our enemy.
Aye?
Just say the word. Slippery devil. You better run! Let's hop!
Come on.
Don't count me out yet.
Indeed.
Christ. Struggle is real. Struggle is real. Because these wolves are absolutely battering me as well. There's got to be a better way of
Say
doing
the
it.
word.
God. Oh dear. I'm gonna die. No, I'm dead. God. Absolutely banged by a bunch of wolves. Party is dead. Load. Forest troll. And if I can't beat some fucking wolves, I'm gonna struggle with this troll, aren't I? But let's have a go.
Thank Worth and Rock!
What about? Look how much he hits your endurance. He's such a big smasher on it. How's it looking? Near death. So I can beat a troll, but I can't beat wolves. Young boar. Fucking
How may
kill
I
that
help?
stupid little boar. Oh, there's 3 of them. Very nice.
Hey, are you blind?
Knocked him the fuck out.
You should have run!
See, look at that. Like one hit just whacks my endurance down so much. I'm gonna die to boars now, aren't I? See, yeah, just why do I get knocked out so quickly? There's got to be something I'm doing wrong. Got to be something I'm doing wrong. Smell of pipe smoke once earthly sweet.
17 and a half. Well, could be 18, depending on how you count the dwarf woman.
I'm
The
sorry.
dwarf woman. You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person. I think you oughta.
Nice.
The people hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted, anyway.
What you people do for
Names
fun
are there.
around here?
Out of the people around here, might as well be 19. Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get involved.
What makes you think I'm interested in the dwarf woman?
I was smoking over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe. You never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so
Interesting.
slack I took you for a radric at first.
Impossible I don't drool half as much. Around here we prefer to blind-eye to dead. Out of sorcery. Do you know what a watcher
Careful,
is?
friend. Best not use that word round here. Could be any number of radric bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, radric especially. They come through these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be. Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with a dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense.
Don't be so sure.
The town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fellow who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
What does your town have against you?
Pick the wrong god. That's what it comes down to. Used to be a lot of Aethys worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess of rocks over there, that was a temple to him, to give you some idea. Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Aethys. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Aethys. He enlisted, then I did too. But, he didn't make it back. After the war, people took to punishing Aethys worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me.
And I guess they've done that.
Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course, the townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Radric's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
Oh, next to be hanged. Why are you still here? Drinking. Yeah, fair enough. We could travel together.
Seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know why I never thought of it before. Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger, and a strange one at that. But, truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree.
There's a fine reason.
All right,
about
then.
that. Right, let's get going.
Saw you in the flames.
Ooh, come here. Durant, yes, I want
Come
you.
to pray at the statue. The others are welcome, but it's best if just you and I trade words, and your shadows stay quiet. Hands off their weapons, both arcane and steel. I
Okay.
swear before the whore that is Margaret, no harm will come to you in her shadow, if that's enough of a promise for you. If not...
Didn't catch your name or why you want to speak with
I
me.
didn't give it. You probably find names as
Get
useless
me a
as I do.
healer.
The names that litter this world like debris are hard enough to wrap around the tongue. And what do they matter? It's what's beneath the skin and the letters I care about. What burns within. It's more important to me you're a watcher than whatever culture or accent decorates your letters like awkward crowns. Take pride in your actions, not where you hail from, or how your name rolls off whatever liar's tongue coats it now.
big love there, Mr. Elvif, for my A+ effort of getting absolutely owned over and over again. Thank you very, very much for the bitties.
If you need a title to hang on me to match your own, Watcher, then call me Durance. And as you observe souls, I test them.
How did you know I was a watcher? See the questions bubbling up. Let's burn them away one by one.
I am a missionary. I walk this diseased nation with its heathen, its people so careless with the spirits of others and their own, watchers among them. Yes, I know you for what you are, and your name doesn't interest me. Names are for honest folk, and you are a crack that shines light from another place.
Interesting man.
We're meant to travel together, you and I. Saw you in the flames. Not your face, but that soul of yours. All tightened up, like a huntsman's knot.
Nice. You saw
There's
me in the
things we
flames.
can teach each other. If you're in need of answers to your mantle of questions. I don't force my words on anyone other than you. I don't care who walks with you or what their mewling problems and politics are. There's enough howling in the world without me stoking that fire. I won't take from your provisions, don't need much on the road. I can carry my weight, which is considerable.
Good.
Many will stand against you.
Company would be welcome.
Then let us
Join me, sir. Lovely.
Yeah?
This little thing.
Yeah? Lavaru.
Yeah, that's one dead. Yeah, they were not as challenging as I was expecting them to be. Do I want to go into this cave? Yes. Everybody, bam bam, I'll rock your body. I know I want to leave. Go fight a bear. Valkin, thank you very, very much for your help today. It's massively appreciated.
Hail, traveler.
I'm going to have a nap in the room, hit save, and call it a day there. Do we have anyone on that you'd like to guide the raid to?